Hello YouTube and Facebook friends, hope everyone's well, hope everyone's isolating properly. Just a quick little lesson on something called the second string anomaly. The second string anomaly is both the blessing and the curse of guitar. It's the thing that makes the fretboard kind of hard to understand. And the patterns within it and the layouts of notes as a result of it can sometimes seem a wee bit mysterious. If we go back to the days when I was a kid and learning to play guitar, the only way you had of tuning up your guitar was to get a tuning fork, find the note A, tune your A string to it, and then tune all of your other strings to that A note. And the way you did it was to climb up the sixth string until you reach the fifth fret, and that note should be the same as the fifth string played open, more or less. Same thing with the fifth string, come up to the fifth fret and it should produce a D like the open D string. Climb up the fourth string to the fifth fret, makes a G, which is the same as the next open string. Climb up the third string to the fifth fret, and this happens. So the distance between these two strings, between the third and the second strings, is only 4 frets. And then the distance between the second and the first string is back to 5 frets. So again it goes. Could be more in tune. So there's one odd pair of strings, the second and third strings. Shapes that happen on those two strings don't match the shapes that happen on the other two strings. If they did, then chord shapes would be much more similar to one another. So let's take, for example, a D chord. If I want to find that set of notes on the next set of strings, what I have to do is come over one set of strings and lower the third string by 1 fret and then climb 5 frets. So now this is making the same voicing of the chord as that is. If we take this shape and move it across a set of strings and then lower the third string, we end up with this very familiar shape. And again, if we take that up 5 frets, that's going to sound the same as if I take a D minor chord and I move across a set of strings, lower the third string, again it's a familiar shape. Take that shape, move it across a set of strings, lower the third string by 1 fret. Okay, now most of you, if you're already players, are going to be saying, yeah, but I already know those shapes. Well, let's take a slightly more unusual shape. Let's take this one. Diminished 7th chord. Move it across a set of strings. Lower the third string by 1 fret. We end up with that. If we're going in that direction, then this will start to happen. Let's take a G chord. Now what I have to do is move that across one set of strings and then raise the second string by 1 fret. If I move this across a set of strings, I have to raise the second string by 1 fret. And so on and so on and so on. The big use for this kind of thing comes in when you're trying to play melodies over the top of chords, or chords in different inversions, where let's say I needed this chord but I wanted this melody note above it. Well, I can either get a plastic surgeon to surgically lengthen my 4th finger, Or I can take this shape, move it across a set of strings, raise it 5 frets, and now I can get the, oops, I can get that like that. Or supposing I want this A minor shape. Supposing I want an A minor chord, but again, with this note at the top. So what I do is I move it across a set of strings until I wind up with that shape, take it up 5 frets, and now I can add this one on top. It's probably worth doing another short video on this because it's a more important thing than you would realise at first. And once you grasp it, the fretboard starts to open up a little bit for you, and you start to be able to spot that wherever you hold a chord down here, there are dozens of other ways of holding the same shape and either having access to high notes or putting it in a shape which gives you access to low notes. That of course is the big problem with guitar, the fact that you can't have this note and this note at the same time. Okay, we'll leave it at that for the time being. Good luck everybody. Hope that's been of some help to you, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.